morning. It is March. It's Monday Mindset. And everybody say hi to those that are watching. We love you guys. Sorry you're not here. Um, I want to remind you all that this Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific is a Sabella skincare. And it is amazing how much stuff is on there. There is a YouTube video I had shared about skincare toxicity. I encourage you guys to look at that and invite. Okay, that is this Thursday. It'll still be $1 enrollment. It'll still be double points. So we're just going to talk about skincare. We're not going to really talk about makeup. That's going to be a whole other thing. This is about skincare. And so your language needs to be that skincare, whatever you put onto your skin is going to absorb into your bloodstream, right? Your face is about 26 seconds. 26 seconds. So please understand that, like, if you're using some really nasty stuff, like, I don't know, Maybelline, MAC Cosmetics, MAC Skincare, there's some nasty stuff. There's some that I just found out that actually puts gluten in their skincare. Found that out. So that was a lesson. Gluten? Why would you do that? What's the point of gluten in your skincare? Like, what did they think? I don't know. Let's add gluten. Like, let's add corn syrup in your skincare. I don't understand that philosophy. All right, today's lesson is about the intensity. Intensity. Everybody say intensity. Let me see your mouth.
Intensity.
Intensity. Yeah, get off your cell phone right now. Thank you. I can see people looking at their cell phone. You guys, pay attention. Intensity is where we need to be with this business. And the people that are saying, and here's again, tonight at 6 p.m., I hope you guys are going to be on. We're going to talk about handling objections before they even happen. We're going to talk about consistency, why we shop every month. We're going to talk about why that 35 points is important. I want to show you how I have taken a lot of what I do and turn it into videos for trainings, for customer trainings, and for business builder trainings, because how can we be more effective and more consistent, right? So let me share this, and let me share, that's the logo of my B&B, you guys, right there. Let me share my sign. And Linda's going to go, why do you have all those things open? Those are statements. I was doing QuickBooks Online for tax stuff for the B&B last night. So, okay, here we go. This is about intensity.
Starting a business, being in business, being a teammate, it doesn't make a difference. Wherever you find yourself in your career, you're always going to have periods of intensity. One of the things that the average person doesn't think about as they become an entrepreneur is that starting a business, being in business, being a teammate, it doesn't make a difference. Wherever you find yourself in your career, you're always going to have periods of intensity that just require a different gear, way more than you're accustomed to giving. And if you're an entrepreneur, you know this because it was the very beginning. It was when the product didn't work. It was when the sale went away, when you lost an opportunity, and you had a chance to retreat, you had a chance to pull back, you had a chance to do nothing, but you chose to take on another period of intensity. And you know what I mean by that. It's that longer hours, way more focus, way more energy towards your business. And yes, they're not always that way. It's not always a period of intensity, but when you're there, you have to give it everything you got, because if you don't, it's really hard to recover from a time that requires it, where you don't give the energy, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. So whether you're in one now, like I'm in, or you are in a period of maybe calm, honor where you're at, but just know when the timing is required, when it's time for you to be intense, you got to give it all you got.
Wow. Did that speak to anybody? So this is my understanding of some people that I know that are high up in Melaleuca. And you have heard people say, well, I don't want to take away from my family here. I don't want to take away from my family there. On a level of importance, you have to decide what's more important, dealing with stress or family time. What do you raise higher more? Dealing with stress means not being able to pay bills, not being able to actually live comfortably, always worried if you're going to pay your mortgage, not having enough money. And everybody that has started with Melaleuca, and majority of them started with some kind of financial or health crisis, right? And what they decided was that intensity for a season was more important than I've got to spend every night tucking my kids in bed and doing that kind of a thing, or whatever that is, or spending time on TikTok or Instagram. Dealing with that intensity is much more important. And as a result of the long hours and figuring out their systems and following up and getting their systems in place so that nothing fell through the cracks, the long term of it is those people that can take off a month or two. So you guys realize when you get to senior director, you can bank your leadership points. There's a little column that we have where you can bank your leadership points. If I'm going to take off maybe 2 or 3 weeks and realize I don't know if I'm going to get enough leadership points, I can use those or they'll automatically draw them out. So you're not losing your income. But the question I have for you on this is, we're talking this morning already, for those people that weren't on here, is about focus. Set alarms. If you guys look at me and say yes, yes, and you do not have alarms set, you're missing a very vital part of your training, which is in an office, you have meetings. Like, what did you do to get to that office? I have a meeting, I can work until 8:30. What did you do? Do you just keep looking at your clock, or do you have someone knocking on the door going, you're late, what's wrong? You don't. You make it work. What do you do? Why is it any different here? You have to set alarms, you guys. If you are old enough to have given birth, or if you're old enough to have kids or grandkids, your memory is kind of going down the toilet, right? Because part of it is there's so much on our plates. I saw a Dr. Phil show, and he talked about memory, and he said it's not that we're getting older, it's that we just don't care about phone numbers and some of that stuff, and you have so much on your plate you're dealing with, like so much, because now you got these birthdays and grandkids and charity work and church and that. It's just so much. Now you all of a sudden decide to raise chickens. You got farms. There's all kinds of stuff, and now there's so much more that you have to have tools and things in place to handle the intensity of the situation. But right now, I want you guys to think, what can you give up? A little something. What can you give up? Is it that 15 minutes that you stay up watching the news at night? Can you give that up to apply towards this intensity for your business so that you can have that nest egg you want, or that retirement you want, or that little bit of extra money to help pay off that bill so you're not paying money into interest rates? I mean, it just kind of hit me recently about talking about bills, and all of a sudden went, man, that is a lot of money that I'm doing to support that company. Like, debt free is the way that we all need to be, right? If you're not debt free, what can you give up so you're not supporting that institution, that Visa card? But you have to look at your life and go, if I was to give up that 10 minutes a night on Instagram, going through those stories and going through those little videos, if I gave that 10 minutes up and use that for engagement, just decide what you're going to replace. And I'm going to suggest you replace and engage. Relationship building and engage. Patty just said it this morning for those that aren't on. She goes, the reason I have started to increase my real estate, people are beginning to trust me, meaning they're knowing her, meaning she's engaging in their life. She's spending and investing that time for that business to go better. It's an investment in time. And the side effect of that is then she can turn it around and turn it into, Melaleuca. But if you have, what can you give up? Can you give up 10 minutes of scrolling and invest it in conversations with people? That's your challenge for this week, is to give something up to invest in people. And I encourage you to audit your time. I encourage you to audit your schedule and go, where has all my time been? And the second thing, you guys, if you start setting alarms, you're going to have more focused time. I want you to audit your time and set alarms so that I've got 10 minutes now, 10 minutes. And you guys, you've heard the story of my husband. I just went through this the other night. He has 9 alarms that go off to get him through his morning. 9 alarms from 4 a.m. to 5:15 when he leaves. 9 alarms. And he gets up, he reads, he works out on 4 different machines at 4 minutes per that. He gets his breakfast ready, he pray time. I mean, 9 alarms in an hour and 15 minutes to get him through what he's doing. Do you have that system down? Are you there? Because if you're not, maybe that's why you're not focused, because he said more focus is going to help your intensity. More focus. And so just experiment with this month. Experiment. Audit your time. Where is all my time going? Ask ChatGPT to help you say, these are all the things I need to get done during the day. How do I do that? And then set an alarm and see how that does. And number 3, you guys, get off scrolling and cute videos and spend that time engaging with people. They have to know you. They have to trust you. They have to relate with you. And if you want to turn any relationship, whether you're going to the Chamber of Commerce, whether you're on social media, whether you're following up with leads, that little bit of time is going to make the difference in how those conversations go. And then what happens is that you have more confidence in talking to someone if you spent time with them.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much easier to go, oh, Linda, I keep seeing things. So much is nice talking to you in church all this time. And I kind of saw you scoping you out on Facebook. And man, you got that rowing thing down. Has anyone ever talked to you about Mel Luca? And if I'm having these conversations about her garden, her car, her doctor, dentist appointment, whatever, then me just bringing something else up is so natural. Right? And John just read every day counts. Every day is worth 3%.
I heard Russ Paley over 20 years say that every day is worth 3% of the month. So if you waste a day, 3% is gone and you can't get it back.
Notice the words that he said too. I've heard Russ Paley say this actually. He said, if you waste the day, it's not, I chose to take the day off or I got to go to the doctor. I'm going to go help my daughter move. That's not wasting the day. It's wasting the day. You can choose to have days off. You're not required to work here 7 days a week. But when you are you working longer so that you can have that time off? So this training was about being more intense, more in focus, working longer so you can have that time off. All right. So having a life that says I want to be able to pay off my bills and get out of debt, have an emergency fund, get a retirement, but I still need to, have my casual life. Those two don't go together. All right, I'm going to stop this recording. Everyone say bye.